last year in the playoffs. This is a safe space. The Mets
Hold on,
go after
my
you.
My ear's itching. Hold on.
There you go.
Oh,
Well, it's
Yeah.
sweaty, dude. It's
oh,
hot,
sorry.
It's hot in
I'm
here.
trying to wipe it off. Sorry.
It's sweaty. It's hot in here. But first on the motivational side, because I know you tweeted the other day when the Scherzer stuff went down, you were like, "Oh, can't wait to hear Brian Kenny's thoughts on this," because he called you out without knowing any of his story here. So you said, "Brian Kenny, I can't wait to hear your take." I mean, I'm sure that's still motivating for you when someone calls your ass out and they didn't do their homework on a number of fronts, from not looking at velocity compared to spin rate, first of all, and then second of all, not hearing an answer saying, "Oh, he didn't have an answer for what's on his ear." Yes, Sweat, if you listen to the post-game interview.
Yeah, if he did his homework, you go back. I don't know what the hell the big deal was about the ears. If you go back and watch, there wasn't a single moment in that game where I go to the ears, to get any kind of grip. I'm not going to the ears and going straight to the ball. So I understand that it looks like that on TV and my ears are shiny, but they came out. I went through the entire process. I don't know what else there is to kind of prove my innocence out there. And, then you take Scherzer on the other hand, who, gets caught in the act. He goes through, and I still think that he got kind of screwed on that situation. He did what they told him to do and, whatever, he serves a suspension. But it just really irritated me the way that Kenny approached it, and with Lowe, and I can't remember if it was Ron Darling or whoever else was on that segment with him. The two ex-players are coming to my defense and telling them, there's a lot of moments, in baseball where your adrenaline's at a higher level. For me, that was the biggest start of my career right there. And if you look at the numbers compared to everyone else in that game and how relative they were to the increase that everyone experienced, I didn't think my numbers were all that different, from anyone's in the game. And then the simple uneducation on the fact that he's calling my changeup 250 RPMs higher, which is, completely contradicts what you're supposed to get out of a changeup, is less spin for more movement. So it just, none of it made sense. And the fact that he's on MLB Network, the one place that everyone goes as a amateur novice baseball fan to get their education and to learn a little bit about the game, and you have that guy out there just dragging my name through the mud. That really pissed me off.
Do you feel like there's no recourse? Do you feel like you feel like you're on an island? Like you just touched on Scherzer. Like, as a pitcher, do you feel like you're on an island and you could just be like, well, if they deem me to be doing something wrong, I guess this is judge, jury, executioner, all in the same one.
Yeah, there's not really much process you have to defend yourself. And I don't feel a need. I know everyone says you look more guilty the more you try to defend yourself, but it's not the fact that I think people think I was cheating. It's the fact that he's taken away, one of the biggest games of my career in a moment that, the emotional waves that I went through leading up to that, just thinking about all the things that I did to prepare for that moment and be ready for it, and to come through and be the guy to get the job done, and then have it all kind of, question kind of pissed me off. But yeah, it is like there's not much defense up there, and you can cry all you want, but people have their minds made up already, and I feel like it's kind of irrelevant. I know Max has proven himself up to this point. He's going to continue to prove himself, and I feel like that's what I got to do, is just continue to go out there and pitch the way I've been pitching.
But has Brian Kenny apologized? Because you got a big platform, and like I said, the place everybody goes, MLB tonight, and you can't just sit there and just falsely accuse somebody of doing something. You can't do it.
Yeah.
But has he apologized to you?
No, I haven't heard a word from him, and I haven't run into him, and I'm not gonna hold the guy up in an alleyway, but I want to hear from his mouth why he said that and where he stands on this. Because if he has an apology, I haven't heard it yet. He hasn't reached out to me personally, which is, I'm not asking for this public apology, but I want him to speak to me at least and tell me, why he had those strong opinions and where he stands on it now. Because I feel like his take on Scherzer's thing, and I don't know if you could say that, and I feel like his defense would be that, I'm not going to do that again. I learned my lesson, so I'm not going to do it to the next guy. But it just felt very unfair the way that the two cases were taken.